I have met the most negative person in the world. Right here in my backyard. Okay. Let's check this out. What we have is a washout. And it's about a foot deep. And the sprinkler overwaters a bit. So here's the scoop. Saturday morning I got up and said, well, I should go think about how to get this problem solved and archive the problem for a landscape designer to solve this. What problem am I talking about? Landscape failure. As you can see, the neighbor's yard is just washing out. And you can see there's actually a sprinkler right there in the very corner. It does nothing. It's washed out this, and the moisture's come through all the way and washed out this whole step. So on my side, I'm going to have to actually probably cut this concrete out. Of course, I'll hire someone to do that and redo the step. This is also probably part of that damage, this cracking, just from all the moisture and the overwater. That sprinkler, of course, is not doing anything in this back corner except flooding into my yard. So, Saturday morning I took out these two boards and was just scoping that out, thinking about what kind of retaining wall needs to be put in there. And the owner, who's an absentee owner, he rents this house out, was over there fixing it up for the next renters. And because of a previous altercation about 2 years ago, we had a lawsuit, and it was settled at arbitration. Not in my favor, of course, but it was a very minor $1,000 fee. A big deal for me. My homeowner's insurance took care of all of that, including great legal representation. And I hadn't talked to them since then. I imagine their legal costs were quite extraordinary. Mine were all paid for. Several weeks worth of a lawyer, you know how much that's going to tally up. Anyway, what the end result of that is there's a great animosity that was built up in his mind. And when I saw him come out, I just called him over to talk about this. And I was verbally assaulted, basically. It's the most negative verbal assault, not only that I've ever witnessed, but certainly has ever been directed towards me. I've never seen a human being actually act that way. And, you know, his wife came out and tried to restrain him. And I actually had a conversation with her after he left the scene. So I was just coming off of my Friday vlog where I was talking about controlling your emotions and how great your life can be if you think positive thoughts and you capture the negative thoughts. And so for me, it was quite an instructive moment. It was actually entertaining for me because I'm in complete control of that situation, of course. Although it's unsettling to have someone behave that way towards you. Yes, so I've been working from home today. It's a really neat day. It's a little bit rainy, but no big deal. And so I have to fill out this architectural application for any changes that I wish to make. So, you know, I have this washout issue, and I already got approval. For that. Oh, I dropped it. Let's use this table over here to help me. I want to show you my pictures. Instead of showing you the picture of the real thing, I'm going to show you the picture of the picture. Well, I have to send this in. So anyways, this is showing the neighbor's level of the yard with that board there, and how it's washed out below and basically damaged my concrete step. And I took out one of those little boards to look at the problem on that side. Did that on Saturday and had a verbal outlash directed towards me by my neighbor. And anyways, looking straight down, you can see the sprinkler head that's in the very corner, and it's actually about 3 inches over the surveyed property line, so it's actually on my property, as is the fence. However, the neighbor didn't choose to accept those facts with any grace, sparking an outburst, destroying his whole Saturday. I'm sorry I destroyed his Saturday, but people, you have to realize that what we think is who we are. You think positive things, you'll become positive. You become a force for great things in your life and other people's lives. And these opportunities exist all throughout our day. Okay, CrackerBarrel restaurant. I had a good breakfast here once. Unfortunately, it's not quite meeting my stringent requirements today. Pancake. Sausage. Come on. In fact, that day before, I was at Starbucks with my wife, and I was waiting in line. There was one man ahead of me, and he didn't seem like he quite knew what he was doing. He had ordered for his daughter and their 2 kids some foods and drinks, and so when he finally got to pay for it, he was paying with a Visa card. That's problem number 1. That's a bad sign when you see that. Don't use your Visa card to buy your food. But he couldn't make it work. It wouldn't accept it or whatever. I'm not sure what his problem was. He's an older man, nice looking guy. And at this point, I was there probably 3 minutes in line behind him. So he went to pull out another card, but I proactively, a little bit of wind. We'll see how my wind muff does on my mic. I proactively pulled out my debit card, shoved it in, paid for it just like that. Not a second thought. $20 to $30, something or closer to $30, I think, for all of his food. Starbucks is not cheap when you buy stuff there. And he said, "Thank you. Don't have to do that." But we got it done. The cashier was a new guy. He said, "Do you know them?" I said, "No, I'm just paying it forward." That's the key concept. We all are in this boat together. We're all here together. Someday you might need that help from a friend. And in fact, last week, a similar thing happened, where I was actually in my car pulling out of the Target parking lot, and look at these little kitties. Well, I guess I can't. Whoa, what are you doing? Oh, I scared them. And so I was pulling out of the Target parking lot. Another great example. A car comes rushing, turning next to me, and a man is in there fairly well dressed, an older man, and had his window down. And it was early in the morning, so there wasn't anybody else around hardly. And he said, "Oh, can you help me? I just drove from someplace in Washington, and I left my jacket with my wallet in it in a restaurant, or probably who knows where, and I have to go back and get it before I can go to my next meeting in Eugene, which is another, I don't know where, another 60 miles. So I always have a pay it forward $20 bill in my wallet. I always carry one. It's just for this purpose. So, no problem. Oh, my arm hurts. I told him I had just had vaccinations. He interacted with me a little bit and stuff. But you should never miss these opportunities, because, there's lots of scammers out there. They'll take your money like that, just like that. And if you've got money, then you're paying it forward. It doesn't matter if it's a scammer. You're still paying it forward. That's cosmic law, friends. That's how it works. You have to give money away in order to get money. It's the law of abundance. And superabundance works that way. To become really abundant in your life, you have to be part of the flow of energy. Money is just a physical manifestation of energy. Think of this when you're driving down the road. You are surrounded by all sorts of other vehicles going past you in either direction. Let's say you take a short trip into the market. Just that short trip, I don't know how many vehicles have passed you. Each one of those vehicles represents a fairly large investment in money from the owner of that vehicle. And so during that trip, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even $1 million, has passed your way. Wealth is on the fly. It's all around you. And so never have the attitude, I can't afford something, I can't do something because I don't have enough money. And the extension to that kind of negative thinking is, I can't possibly do this, I can't possibly learn this, it's too complicated, it's too hard. Stop all that kind of thinking, because you can accomplish great things in your life simply by having the right attitude and figuring out how to go step by step. Short steps, long vision. It's a great little saying for you to use when your mind is working against you. That's all for now. Next step is I have to take this paperwork over to the local homeowners association management company, which is real close. It's actually in a building which was I'll talk about that when I get there.
Good job on not eating too much.
Well, my diet plan remains intact after CrackerBarrel restaurant experience. It was also a unique experience at CrackerBarrel in that it's the first time ever I've had to return pancakes. They were like rubber discs suitable for some gaming event that you toss back and forth.
Probably slab somewhere.
Anyways, they took my breakfast off the check, and that made me laugh. The waitress tried to make a joke, but needless to say, that's my last experience at this joyful restaurant. Because there's a fantastic restaurant just down the hill, Tom's Diner. We'll review that one next.
If I could see you again, I don't know where to start. I've tried to fix every wound with this lone heart. I'd see that siren smile while I'd find a way to breathe. But the way that your eyes shatter mine, I will be defeated. But if I'd go back, I could turn